Many people don't have enough money to buy food and are hungry, so we decided to take action and help them out.
We visited over 40 families and shared a service project with them, which led to them donating food.
And now we're going to take that food that we collected and donate it to a food bank.
I'm the president of this neighborhood association. Our neighborhood has actually become much more unified in the last couple of years, and I think that is due in large part to junior youth groups that have been meeting here. They would come out and they would meet to plan their service projects, and the neighbors started noticing this and really feeling a sense of community that these kids have started creating.
Today we're building a community garden as a service project for our junior youth group, and we're doing this to help connect the different members of our community together because we have like a gap between generations, between young children and older people, so we think it's a good way to unite and connect the neighbors.
I'm in my last year of high school, and I've been coordinating a junior youth group for about a year now. I remember being a junior youth in my group, and I remember I was kind of loud and annoying, and it probably looked like I didn't get anything out of it, but the conversations were really impactful for me, and that's why I became an animator.
What are some of the attitudes? I just completed a year of service within my neighborhood. It was really nice to be able to contribute to the neighborhood that I was living in. I've been so blessed in these last couple of years to have not only a nucleus of friends that I'm serving alongside and that are supporting me, but also I've had the support of the families in the neighborhood that I feel like I can consult with and really come to unified decisions about what we should do next and how we should approach things. I used to create this false dichotomy in my mind in regards to what counted as service. I was like, okay, only my junior youth group or only my children's class is service. But if I'm really thinking about service, not as an event that I'm going to or an activity that I'm completing, but more as an undercurrent that's informing all of the different activities that I'm engaging in. That really allows for much more space for service just in my life generally.
One question we are asking ourselves is, what does a coherent life of service look like? And what we're realizing is that it looks different at every stage of life. When my wife and I were younger, we were serving in the neighborhood all the time. Home visits every night, multiple devotionals, study circles, junior youth groups, everything. We joked that we were like midfielders on a soccer team. We were up, back, left, right, everywhere. But then we got older, we had kids, we moved into a different neighborhood, we started full-time work, and we began to realize that we just couldn't serve that way anymore. At first we thought we were failing, that we were doing something wrong. But then we realized, actually, we're not even playing soccer. What we're doing now is we're running a marathon, and that's a totally different thing.
We're a group of friends and neighbors who come together on a regular basis to think about what are the needs of our community, how we can work together, how are we thinking about the well-being of everyone in the community.
I'm the president of this neighborhood. We have a lot of youth out here that has a lot of talent, but some of the challenges we face is gun violence in our neighborhood. So with these youth groups, it teaches the children how to help other children become better people. And if we continue to have these programs, I really feel that we can make a difference in our community.
As we started more and more junior youth groups in the neighborhood, we started to notice a trend. So whenever it came time for the junior youth to read during group, they would refuse. They would throw their books, they would try to get the other junior youth not to read. And at first we thought these were behavioral challenges, and so we would try to address them as such. But as time went on, it became clear that it wasn't a behavioral problem. It was that the junior youth couldn't read the text. As we looked into it more, it became clear this was a challenge across the neighborhood. Junior youth in this neighborhood could not read at age level. So we started an organization that could provide one-on-one academic tutoring to strengthen the literacy levels of the junior youth in this neighborhood. Now in the junior youth group, they're more eager to read. They're more focused, and they even are helping each other when they struggle to read.
My roommate and I are both students, and we've been exploring ways to build community in our neighborhood.
Come after middle school, they either hang out and do good things.
We've opened up our home to have study circles and devotionals in our apartment.
Trying to invite youth to join the community building process by explaining it as merely a set of activities has proven challenging. Often they're not interested or they find it difficult to find time in their life. But when we share the purpose behind these activities, the greater vision of Baha'u'llah, of the transformation of the individual and society, youth are eager to contribute.
When I learned about the vision that Baha'u'llah had for the oneness of humanity, it really spoke to me. When I was younger, I went to a mostly white school, and being one of the few Black children there, I did feel kind of like I was under a microscope. It feels almost as if you're representing your race. And during lunch, I felt a lot of anxiety. I didn't know who to sit with because Black kids were sitting on one side and white kids were sitting on the other. And I wanted to sit with both. One day, a family friend told my mom and I about the Baha'i religion, and she invited us to a devotional gathering. And when I arrived, I was just blown away. I saw so many different people of different religions, ethnicities, just coming together and singing together, talking together, and I just felt like I belonged. I'm serving as an animator in one of the neighborhoods. I really love talking with young people about these spiritual concepts and how they can bring that into their own lives.
In a time that was really polarizing and I was feeling fairly isolated, I was looking for more authentic connection, and I thought maybe some of my neighbors would be too. And so I decided that I would just try to invite my neighbors to become part of a devotional gathering.
My neighbor came from across the street and invited me to a devotional that was happening right outside my home. And it was just perfect timing because I was feeling incredibly isolated and looking to find meaningful connection. Since then, I've been going to the devotional for the past 2 years, and it has just been a tremendous source of support and just a fantastic community to become a part of.
So powerful is the light of unity that it can.
We have several activities in our neighborhood. We've begun children's classes, study circles, additional devotional gatherings. These spaces help bring people together. It brings the joy that we're looking for in a community. One of the things that I'm really grateful for is that I have a friend in the neighborhood who, from the beginning when we first started our devotional gathering, has been there alongside me. We are consulting and talking about how these activities are going, how we can support each other. And it really helps to have another person to do this with.
One day, a neighbor from down the street asked me if I would be interested in participating in a study circle. And my first reaction was, I don't have time for this because I'm super busy. And I even said that to her. But then after a bit, I thought about it and I thought, I really did like the idea of talking with other people about deeper issues that you don't get the opportunity to talk to about and having some dedicated time to do that. So I decided to join the study circle, and we would talk about the various quotations. There were a couple that really spoke to me. So the one about when you have a thought of war, to oppose that with a stronger thought of peace. When you have a thought of hatred, oppose that with a stronger thought of love. And I use that almost daily because there are things that I come up into my mind and I'm irritated by something, and then I have to stop myself and replace that with a stronger thought of love. And I remember one part of the things that we had talked about is, okay, we're in a neighborhood. What do we think that our neighborhood needs? And the first thing that came to my mind was more connection, which is kind of funny because I go about my own business all the time, but it just feels powerful to be a part of a neighborhood and not just someone living in a house next to other people.
We are a group of families that come together on a regular basis to plan, reflect, and support each other in our community building activities. One of the spaces that we've created is called Meaningful Conversations. We invite others through both social media and through personal friendships. This is a space in which we read quotations around a given topic. We use these quotations to inspire an uplifting conversation. This is really helping all of us to keep these spiritual ideas in the forefront of our mind and carry them into our actions throughout the week.
I believe that the Institute process brings people back to their basic identities of who they are and why they're here. As an African American male, in this society, my identity has been defined for me. I'm seen as angry, violent, untrustworthy, ignorant, and a threat. Growing up under these circumstances, it was very hard for me to understand who I truly am and why I'm here. And that challenge has really broken most of us. But studying the writings and understanding that actually I'm created noble and spiritual, then that relieves all of those burdens. And then I see myself as a spiritual, noble human being. And not only that, I also see others in that same light. You're then able to become that protagonist and really help others as a part of your purpose. And I think that this helps bring us closer to Baha'u'llah's vision of the oneness of humanity.
Goodbye. Bye.
Nilipokuwa mtoto, hamu yangu ilikuwa ni kuwa mwalimu. Lakini kijijini kwetu, wasichana walikuwa hawapelekwi shuleni kwa sababu watu hawakuwa na umuhimu wa sisi kuelimishwa. Lakini baba aliniweka shuleni, nilifurahi sana. Lakini nilipokuwa kijana, baba aliamua ya kuwa nina elimu ya kutosha kwa ajili mimi ni msichana. Hivyo akanitoa shuleni. Nilihuzunika sana kwa sababu nililazimika kuacha hamu yangu ya kuwa mwalimu. Nilipokuwa na umri wa miaka 17, niliolewa na nikahamia kijiji kipya. Katika kijiji hiki, nilikutana na jamii ya Wabahai na nikajiunga na mchakato wa taasisi. Hii iliamsha ndani mwangu tena